do, because I've been doing this puzzle, right? But I also have to finish reading from this morning because I didn't. I only read my Quran translation this morning, and it was a short chapter as well. So I want to finish it. What in the world? Anyways, he ruined the sticker, man. So I have one chapter left of this Atomic Habits book, and I want to finish that. I also want to do the puzzle, but I think I'll do that after I finish this because this one takes a shorter amount of time to finish. But I think I'm done with this one for today because I did it this morning. But yeah, I'm just really excited to do a lot of things, and I want to utilize my entire break because, you know, I've been bedrotting all day yesterday. So I finished chapter 19, right? And now I'm on chapter 20. So let's finish this, do the puzzle, and then, yeah. The downside of creating good habits. Habits create the foundation for mastery. In chess, oh, I also want to play chess. I want to learn. I want to learn chess. I want to learn Arabic. I want to learn physics. I want to learn Islam. So, yeah. Um, yeah, I should probably write that down somewhere. I don't know. It is only after the basic movements of the pieces have become automatic that a player can focus on the next level of the game. Each chunk of information that is memorized opens up the mental space for more effortful thinking. This is true for any endeavor. When you know the simple movements so well that you can perform them without thinking, you are free to pay attention to more advanced details. In this way, habits are the backbone of any pursuit of excellence. However, the benefits of habits come at a cost. At first, each repetition develops fluency, speed, and skill. But then, as a habit becomes automatic, you become less sensitive to feedback. You fall into mindless repetition. It becomes easier to let mistakes slide. When you can do it good enough on autopilot, you stop thinking about how to do it better. The upside of habits is that we can do things without thinking. The downside of habits is that you get used to doing things a certain way and stop paying attention to little errors. You assume you're getting better because you're gaining experience. In reality, you are merely reinforcing your current habits, not improving them. In fact, some research has shown that once a skill has been mastered, there is usually a slight decline in performance over time. Usually, this minor dip in performance is no cause for worry. You don't need a system to continuously improve how well you brush your teeth or tie your shoes or make your morning cup of tea. With habits like these, good enough is usually good enough. The less energy you spend on trivial choices, the more you can spend it on what really matters. However, when you want to maximize your potential and achieve elite levels of performance, you need a more nuanced approach. You can't repeat the same things blindly and expect to become exceptional. Habits are necessary but not sufficient for mastery. What you need is a combination of automatic habits and deliberate practice. Habits plus deliberate practice equals mastery. To become great, certain skills do need to become automatic. Basketball players need to be able to dribble without thinking before they can move on to mastering layups with their non dominant hand. Surgeons need to repeat the first incision so many times that they could do it with their eyes closed, so that they can focus on the hundreds of variables that arise during surgery. But after one habit has been mastered, you have to to the effortful part of the work and begin building the next habit. Mastery is the process of narrowing your focus to a tiny element of success, repeating it until you have internalized the skill, and then using this new habit as the foundation to advance to the next frontier of your development. All tasks become easier the second time around, but it doesn't get easier overall because now you're pouring your energy into the next challenge. Each habit unlocks the next level of performance. It's an endless cycle. So this is the automaticity of your habit, and this is the repetition. So it's not automatic at all when you first start, but the more you repeat it, the more it becomes automatic until it becomes a habit, and you'll just increase in repeating it and it'll become more automatic over time. And mastering a field, you have repetition, and then your skill goes up, and your repetition increases, and then your skill goes up, and so on and so forth. So the process of mastery requires that you progressively layer improvements on top of one another, each habit building upon the last until a new level of performance has been reached and a higher range of skills has been internalized. Although habits are powerful, what you need is a way to remain conscious of your performance over time so you can continue to refine and improve. It is precisely at the moment when you begin to feel like you have mastered a skill, right when things are starting to feel automatic and are becoming comfortable, that you must avoid slipping into the trap of complacency. The solution? Establish a system for reflection and review. How to review your habits and make adjustments. In 1986, the Los Angeles Lakers had one of the most talented basketball teams ever assembled, but they are rarely remembered that way. The team started the 1985 to 1986 NBA season with an astounding 29-5 record. The pundits were saying that we might be the best team in the history of basketball. Head coach Pat Riley said after the season. Surprisingly, the Lakers stumbled in the 1986 playoffs and suffered a season-ending defeat in the Western Conference Finals. The best team in history of basketball didn't even play for the NBA championship. After that blow, Riley was tired of hearing about how much talent his players had and about how much promise his team held. He didn't want to see flashes of brilliance followed by a gradual fade in performance. He wanted the Lakers to play up to their potential, night after night. In the summer of 1986, he created a plan to do exactly that, a system he called the Career Best Effort Program, or CBE. When players first joined the Lakers, Riley explained, "We track their basketball statistics all the way back to high school. I call this taking their number. We look for an accurate gauge of what a player can do, then build him into our plan for the team, based on the notion that he will maintain and then improve upon his averages." After determining a player's baseline level of performance, Riley added a key step. He asked each player to improve their output by at least 1% over the course of the season. If they succeeded, it would be a CBE or career best effort, similar to the British cycling team that we discussed in Chapter 1. The Lakers sought peak performance by getting slightly better each day. Riley was careful to point out that CBE was not merely about points or statistics, but about giving your best effort spiritually and mentally and physically. Players got credit for allowing an opponent to run into you when you know that a foul will be called against him. Diving for loose balls, going after rebounds, whether you are likely to get them or not, helping a teammate when the player he's guarding has surged past him, or other unsung hero deeds. As an example, let's say that Magic Johnson, the Lakers' star player at the time, had 11 points, 8 rebounds, 12 assists, 2 steals, and 5 turnovers in a game. Magic also got credit for an unsung hero. Hello, welcome to the stream, Payday Legacy. I'm not sure if you were here before, but welcome. As an example, Magic also got credit for an unsung hero deed by diving after a loose ball. Finally, he played a total of 33 minutes in this imaginary game. I think we've seen each other before. Yeah, probably. I feel like you are a familiar viewer on my stream. So welcome back. So the positive numbers 11, 8, 12, 2, 1 add up to 34. Then we subtract the 5 turnovers to get 29. Finally, we divide 29 by 33 minutes played. Magic's CBE number here would be 879. This number was calculated for all of a player's games, and it was the average CBE that a player was asked to improve by 1% over the season. I'll repeat that I'm Russian. Oh yeah, you are Russian. Nice. Yeah, I remember that part. I only remember after you tell me though. So, yeah. Yeah, I remember asking you, tell me something about Russia or your culture or something so that I could learn something more because I don't really know anything about Russia. except for the word pashtet because I learned that from Crazy Russian Hacker, that YouTuber, because I used to watch him all the time, doing MRE tests, and the fact that the N is backwards. Riley compared each player's current CBE to not only their past performances, but also those of other players in the league. As Riley put it, we rank team members alongside league's opponents who play the same position and have similar role definitions. Sorry, my cat is being kind of bad. But I don't really understand English, so I'll need a translator to help me out again. I don't know how to communicate with you. Well, that's something like that. Aw, well, thank you for trying, and I wish, I could translate what I'm saying to Russian, but I don't know Russian. Can you teach me Russian? Like, how do you say hello in Russia? I know how to say yes. It's da, because that's from Stranger Things. We're watching season 3. I don't know if you know what I'm saying, though. Can you hear my cat purring? Anyways, I want to continue reading, but he's being really... I don't know. Keep the door open if he wants to leave. Anyways, let's continue. Sorry about that. Sport writer Jackie McMullen noted Riley trumpeted the top performance in the league in bold lettering on the blackboard each week and measured them against the corresponding player on his own roster. Solid, reliable players generally rated a score in the 600s, while elite players scored at least 800. Magic Johnson, who submitted 138 triple-doubles in his career, often scored over 1,000. The Lakers also emphasized year-over-year progress by making historical comparisons of CBE data. Riley said, "We stacked the month of November 1986 next to November 1985 and showed the players whether they were doing better or worse than at the same point last season. Then we showed them how their performance figures for December 1986 stacked up against November's. The Lakers rolled out CBE." Can you use a translator? I wish. I don't know how to do that though. I'm really sorry about that. I'm not sure. Checking the options if they have that or not. Oh, that's a green screen. Never mind. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I don't see a translation. Wait a minute. Let me see what this is. Oh no, that's just effects. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. But it's really nice of you to still to still want to watch the stream despite not being able to understand what I'm saying. I really appreciate that. My cat is ruining the puzzle. Urgh. All right. And I'm back. Sorry about that. The Lakers rolled out CBE in October 1986. 8 months later, they were NBA champions. 8 months later, they were NBA champions. The following year, Pat Riley led his team to another title as the Lakers became the first team in 20 years to win back-to-back NBA championships. I have heavy rain again. How's the weather where you are? Is there snow? No, there's no snow here. I'm actually from California, so we don't get snow. We barely even get rain, so yeah, even though it's winter, it doesn't really feel like winter. Honestly, it gets pretty hot here, even though it's um like it's December. But yeah, that's also a nice thing about California. You don't have to deal with too much cold weather. That's one thing I know about Russia, though. It's always cold there.
Did they get food at 1?
No.
Okay.
The following year, Pat Riley led his team to another title as the Lakers became the first team in 20 years to win back-to-back NBA championships. Afterwards, he said, "Sustaining an effort is the most important thing for any enterprise. The way to be successful is to learn how to do things right and then do them the same way every time." That's very true.
Where is it?
It's in the closet here. My bad. The CVE program. Hi, I don't know you if you remember me, but I've been in two other lives. Yeah, I remember seeing your profile. Welcome back to the stream. The CVE program is a prime example. Try saying it in Latin. For example, da, which is English and yes, but in the Russian, it's written da. That's very cool. I didn't know that letter was like pronounced D. Very nice. The CVE program is a prime example of the power of reflection and review. The Lakers were already talented. CVE helped them get the most out of what they had and made sure their habits improved rather than declined. Reflection and review enables the long-term improvements of all habits because it makes you aware of your mistakes and helps you consider possible paths for improvement. Without reflection, we can make excuses, create rationalizations, and lie to ourselves. We have no process for determining whether we are performing better or worse compared to yesterday. Top performers performers in all fields engage in various types of reflection and review, and the process doesn't have to be complex. Kenyan runner Eliud Kipchoge is one of the greatest marathoners of all time and an Olympic gold medalist. He still takes notes after each practice, in which he reviews his training for the day and searches for areas that can be improved. Similarly, gold medal swimmer Katie Ledecky records her wellness on a scale of 1 to 10 and includes notes on her nutrition and how well she slept. She also records the time postponed by other swimmers. At the end of each week, her coach goes over her notes and adds his thoughts. It's not just athletes either. When comedian Chris Rock is preparing fresh material, he will first appear at small nightclubs dozens of times and test hundreds of jokes. He brings a notepad on stage and records which bits go over well and where he needs to make adjustments. The few killer lines that survive will form the backbone of his new show. I know of executives and investors who keep a decision journal in which they record the major decisions they make each week, why they made them, and what they expect the outcome to be. They review their choices at the end of each month or year to see where they were correct and where they went wrong. Okay, I either go to bed now or continue scrolling through the feed and then go to bed. It's 3 a.m. School is still kicking in the morning. Oh no! You still have school? Yeah, you should definitely go to sleep. Good luck and bye. Bye. Thank you for staying and hope to see you in my future streams as well. I'll remember your Russian next time. Yeah, good night. Improvement is not just about learning habits, it's also about fine tuning them. Reflection and review ensures that you spend your time on the right things and make course corrections whenever necessary, like Pat Riley adjusting the effort of his players on a nightly basis. You don't want to keep practicing a habit if it becomes ineffective. Personally, I employ two primary modes of reflection and review. Each December, I perform an annual review in which I reflect on the previous year. I tally my habits for the year by counting up how many articles I published, how many workouts I put in, how many new places I visited, and more. You can see my previous annual review at jamesclear.com. Then I reflect on my progress or lack thereof by answering 3 questions. What went well this year? What didn't go so well this year? What did I learn? 6 months later, when summer rolls around, I conduct an integrity report. Like everyone, I make a lot of mistakes. My integrity report helps me realize where I went wrong and motivates me to get back on course. I use it as a time to revisit my core values and consider whether I have been living in accordance with them. This is when I reflect on my identity and how I can work towards being the type of person I wish to become. My yearly integrity report answers 3 questions. How are the core values that drive my life and work? What are the core values that drive my life and work? How am I living and working with integrity right now? How can I set a higher standard in the future? These 2 reports don't take very long. They're just a few hours per year. But they are crucial periods of refinement. They prevent the gradual slide that happens when I don't pay close attention. They provide an annual reminder to revisit my desired identity and consider how my habits are helping me become the type of person I wish to be. They indicate when I should upgrade my habits and take on new challenges, and when I should dial my efforts back and focus on the fundamentals. Reflection can also bring us a sense of perspective. Daily habits are powerful because of how they compound, but worrying too much about every daily choice is like looking at yourself in the mirror from an inch away. You can see every imperfection and lose sight of the bigger picture. There's too much feedback. Conversely, never reviewing your habits is like never looking in the mirror. You aren't aware of easily fixable flaws, a spot on your shirt, a bit of food on your teeth. This is too little feedback. Periodic reflections and review is like viewing yourself in the mirror from a conversational distance. You can see the important changes you should make without losing sight of the bigger picture. You want to view the entire mountain range, not obsess over each peak and valley. Finally, reflection and review offers an ideal time to revisit one of the most important aspects of behavior change: identity. How to break the beliefs that hold you back. In the beginning, repeating a habit is essential to build up evidence of your desired identity. As you latch onto that new identity, however, those same beliefs can hold you back from the next level of growth. When working against you, your identity creates a kind of pride that encourages you to deny your weak spots and prevents you from truly growing. This is one of the greatest downsides of building habits. The more sacred an idea is to us, that is, the more deeply it is tied to our identity, the more strongly we will defend it against criticism. You see this in every industry. The school teacher who ignores innovative teaching methods and sticks with her tried and true lessons plan. The veteran manager who is committed to doing things his way. The surgeon who dismisses the idea of her younger colleagues. The band who produces a mind-blowing first column and then gets stuck in a rut. The tighter we cling to an identity, the harder it becomes to grow beyond it. One solution is to avoid making the single aspect of your identity an overwhelming portion of who you are. In the words of investor Paul Graham, keep your identity small. The more you let a single belief define you, the less capable you are of adapting when life challenges you. If you tie everything up in being the point guard of or the partner at the firm or whatever else, then the loss of that facet of your life will wreck you. If you're a vegan and then develop a health condition that forces you to change your diet, you'll have an identity crisis on your hands. When you cling too tightly to an identity, you become brittle, lose that one thing, and you lose yourself. For most of my young life, being an athlete was a major part of my identity. After my baseball career ended, I struggled to find myself. When you spend your whole life defining yourself in one way, and that disappears, who are you now? Military veterans and former entrepreneurs report similar feelings. If your identity is wrapped up in a belief like "I'm a great soldier," what happens when your period of service ends? For many business owners, their identity is something along the lines of "I'm the CEO" or "I'm the founder." If you have spent every waking moment working on your business, how will you feel after you sell the company? The key to mitigating these losses of identity is to redefine yourself such that you get to keep important aspects of your identity even if your particular role changes. I think I'll sit a little while longer, then I'll stop watching the shows and watching shorts while trying to fall asleep. Are you sure? If you don't go to sleep, you're gonna suffer in school. Trust me, I've been there. But if you wanna continue listening and it helps you sleep, then yeah, I don't mind you staying. I'm an athlete because I'm the type of person who's mentally tough and loves a physical challenge. I'm a great soldier transforms into I'm the type of person who is disciplined, reliable, and great on a team. I'm the CEO translates to I'm the type of person who builds and creates things. It's cool with you even though I don't understand you. In any case, does a translator help? Aw, that's so sweet of you to say, but I wish I could put a translator, but I'm not sure how to do that. Um, maybe you can get an audio translator on a different software, like a different website. I'll definitely look into that though. Let's see. Well, my laptop is downstairs, so I'm gonna finish reading and then I'll. Actually, I don't know. Like I'm almost done though. Like it's the last page of the entire book, minus the conclusion. But next stream, I'll definitely look into a translator for you. When chosen effectively, an identity can be flexible rather than brittle. Like water flowing around an obstacle, your identity works with the changing circumstances rather than against them. The following quote from the Tao Te Ching encapsulates the ideas perfectly. Men are born soft and supple, dead they are stiff and hard. Plants are born tender and pliant, dead they are brittle and dry. Thus, whoever is stiff and inflexible is a disciple of death. Whoever is soft and yielding is a disciple of life. Oh my god, this is so beautiful. The hard and stiff will be broken, the soft and supple will prevail. Oh damn, what the hell? It's raining harder and harder outside. The window is wet. What can I say? It's a water disco. Dang. You know, that must be making it harder for you to sleep, huh? When it rains, for me, it works like white noise. I feel like it helps me sleep, but maybe if it's raining that hard, it's a little bit too loud. I'm not sure. Habits deliver numerous benefits, but the downside is that they can lock us into our previous patterns of thinking and acting. Even when the world is shifting around us, everything is impermanent. Life is constantly changing, so you need to periodically check in to see if your old habits and beliefs are still serving you. A lack of self awareness is poison. Reflection and review is the antidote. Since there's a water disco on my street, I will dance. I guess so. If you want to dance in the rain, that's very aesthetic. Chapter summary. The upside of habits is that we can do things without thinking. The downside is that we stop paying attention to little errors. Habits plus deliberate practice equals mastery. Reflection and review is a process that allows you to remain conscious of your performance over time. The tighter we cling to an identity, the harder it becomes to grow beyond it. You have such a cool voice. Thank you. Conclusion. The secret to results that last. There is an ancient Greek parable known as the Sorites paradox. Sorites is derived from the Greek word soros, which means heap or pile, which talks about the effect one small action can have when repeated enough times. One formulation of the paradox goes as follows. Can one coin make a person rich? If you give a person a pile of 10 coins, you wouldn't claim that he or she is rich. But what if you add another and another and another? At some point, you will have to admit that no one can be rich unless one coin can make him or her so. We can say the same about atomic habits. Can one tiny change transform your life? It's unlikely you will say so. But what if you made another and another and another? At some point, you have to admit that your life was transformed by one small change. The holy grail of habit change is not a single 1% improvement, but 1,000 of them. It's a bunch of atomic habits stacking up each one a fundamental unit of the overall system. Okay, 3:50, it's too late. Sorry, it's finally goodbye. Maybe we see you tomorrow. Good luck again. Thank you, Mr. Mrs. Russian person. See you tomorrow. I stream every day, so yeah. Good night. Officially good night. To the holy grail of habit is not a single 1% improvement, but 1,000 of them. It's a bunch of atomic habits stacking up each one a fundamental unit of the overall system. In the beginning, small improvements can often seem meaningless, but they get washed up by the weight of the system. Just as one coin won't make you rich, one positive change like meditating for 1 minute or reading one page each day is unlikely to deliver a noticeable difference. Gradually, though, as you continue to layer small changes on top of one another, the scales of life start moving. Each improvement is like adding a grain of sand to the positive side of the scale, slowly tilting things in your favor. Eventually, if you stick with it, you hit a tipping point. Suddenly, it feels easier to stick with good habits. The weight of the system is working for you rather than against you. Over the course of this book, we've looked at dozens of stories about top performers. We've heard about Olympic gold medalists, award winning artists, business leaders, life saving physicians, and star comedians who have all used the science of small habits to master their craft and fall to the top of their field. Each of the people, teams, and companies we have covered have faced different circumstances but ultimately progressed in the same way through a commitment to tiny, sustainable, unrelenting improvements. Success is not a goal to reach or a finish line to cross, it is a system to improve, an endless process to refine. In chapter 1, I said if you're having trouble changing your habits, the problem isn't you, the problem is your system. Bad habits repeat themselves again and again, not because you don't want to change, but because you have the wrong system for change. As this book draws to a close, I hope the opposite is true. With the fourth law of behavior change, you have a set of tools and strategies that you can use to build better systems and shape better habits. Sometimes a habit will be hard to remember, and you'll need to make it obvious. Other times you won't feel like starting and you'll need to make it attractive. In many cases, you may find that the habit will be too difficult and you'll need to make it easy. And sometimes you won't feel like sticking with it and you'll need to make it satisfying. Behaviors are effortless here, obvious, attractive, easy, satisfying. Behaviors are difficult here, invisible, unattractive, hard, and unsatisfying. You want to push your good habits towards the left side of the spectrum by making them obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. Meanwhile, you want to cluster your bad habits towards the right side by making them invisible, unattractive, hard, and unsatisfying. This is a continuous process. There is no finish line. There is no permanent solution. Whenever you're looking to improve, you can rotate through the four laws of behavior change until you find the next bottleneck. Make it obvious, attractive, easy, satisfying, round and round, always looking for the next way to get 1% better. The secret to getting results that last is to never stop making improvements. It's remarkable when you can build what you can build if you just don't stop. It's remarkable the business you can build if you don't stop working. It's remarkable the body you can build if you don't stop training. It's remarkable the knowledge if you can build the knowledge you can build if you don't stop learning. It's remarkable the fortune you can build if you don't stop saving. It's remarkable the friendships you can build if you don't stop caring. Small habits don't add up, they compound. Working, training, learning, saving, caring. Just don't stop at all. Don't stop doing the good things. That's the power of atomic habits. Tiny changes, remarkable results. This is the appendix. And we're done reading Atomic Habits. Yay, we're finished! This was a great read, and I think I'll have to come back to this if I ever fall into a bad habit, um, or want to start building another good habit. So we're done with Atomic Habits, which is insane. Even though it's the 14th, I think I finished Atomic Habits. It's crazy. But now we have one book here, the Quran translation, that I want to finish. I think I'll finish that in one. Actually, no, I finished this today. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it ends 374. So 5 plus 6, 11 days. So in 11 days, hopefully, I'll finish my next book. This is amazing. I would highly recommend everybody to read this. It's pretty common sense, make it obvious, make it satisfying, stuff like that, but you don't really think about it this way. You know these things, but you don't really think about it unless somebody compiles it in a very nice, organized way and gives you examples. So this is really good. But now, let's get back to our puzzle, because I yapped enough. I also want to paint. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe I should start sorting the puzzle pieces. These are all C's here. So C, C, F. I don't know what F is doing here. I just want C's and B's so far. This is B. This is B and F. This is C. C's go here. These are C's too? Yeah. It's all C's. Man, puzzles are hard. I don't know how to do this, man. We're gonna have to try a different strategy now. I don't know. I'm done.